My best friend asked if I would be her sperm donor for her surrogate, and I am in love with her, but she has no idea. So for a bit of background, we met in college and have been best friends since then. We hooked up once years ago. It was a drunken exchange, and I honestly chalked it up to we were both drunk and in the right place. She got ovarian cancer that was stage 3 a few years back and survived and has been in remission. However, she had to have a complete hysterectomy. She had mentioned a year ago she was considering surrogacy. She had told me she planned to use a donor as she has been single for a while. The thing is, I am in love with her, and I have been for years, but she has no idea. I know at one point she had feelings for me, but I was seeing someone then, and out of respect for my girlfriend at the time, she never acted on it. I feel like before I give her an answer, which will be yes, I should tell her how I feel. I want to make her dream of motherhood come true, and I am honestly touched she thinks so highly of me, she wants me to be the father. Regardless of how she feels, I will still donate, and if she doesn't still feel the same way, I will love her as my best friend. I guess I'm trying to find the best way to ask her, and I came to Reddit for advice. So how should I handle this? I'm confused. I understand she cannot carry a child, and so she needs another woman to do that, but I don't understand why she needs a sperm donor unless she's trying to be a single mom, or is a lesbian. Wouldn't she use her partner's sperm, or am I reading this wrong? OP says she is single and her plans are to be a single mom. She is a doctor and makes good money, so she can easily raise a child on her own if she needs to. Just FYI, sperm donation in an informal setting can lead to financial responsibility, child support, for the man. You may think you can do this because you trust everyone involved, but sometimes relationships fall apart and there is still the best interests of the child in front of the court. You will then be both the sperm and financial donor for the next 18 years. If you can work the donation through a legal sperm donation intermediary that can give you some legal standoff and protection, then maybe. Otherwise, you are the financial dad as well as the biological dad. Maybe you're okay with child support and still want to go forward. I'm just saying, child support in this setting is a thing. Quote, regardless of how she feels, I will still donate. Hell to the no. You know what is worse than unrequited love? When you combine a kid with your DNA into the mix. Tell her how you feel and then proceed very slowly. There are only 2 positive outcomes for you in this situation. 1, bow out from being a donor and distance yourself from this woman, and you develop a relationship with someone who reciprocates your feelings. 2, build a family with this woman, but she has to be as into it, and you guys need to figure out if you work as partners before throwing a child into the mix. Notice how neither of those options involve you carelessly handing out your man batter? What if you donate sperm, she has a kid, and then meets somebody, and then that person will be raising your DNA with her? Will you be alright with that? You really need to tell her how you feel. Even if she reciprocates your feelings, she may want to table having a kid for a while as you two adjust to a new relationship. And now, onto the update. So I appreciate all the feedback. Most of you were nice. There was a few idiots telling me that I needed to be alpha and be more manly, but whatever. Anyway, the consensus with my real-life friends was I needed to tell her. We do brunch on Saturdays because she does yoga Sundays, so we met up this morning. I could barely eat and she could tell something was up. She got worried, thinking I was gonna say no or something worse, so by the time we took a walk, both of us were nervous wrecks. I sat her down and told her everything, how I realized I was in love with her several years back, but was too much of a chicken shit to come clean. I told her that I never said anything because I didn't want to jeopardize our friendship. Her face turned white, and then a myriad of expressions came over her face, and she started laughing till tears came down her face. I honestly was so stunned. My stomach was in my throat, and I honestly thought that almost 12 years of friendship were down the toilet. Then she started crying, sobbing really, and she lightly hit my chest. She half laughed and sobbed that she was in love with me too, but she thought that it would also impede the friendship that we had, and she wanted nothing to screw up what we have. We hugged, and I told her there was no one on this earth that I would want to have a child with but her. We talked for hours. In fact, I just got home. We have decided that we want to focus on us for now. I want us to be at that point that we can do it together. I know that this isn't a rom-com and that things could end up not working out for us in the end. However, I am pretty sure if there is such thing as soulmates, she's mine. Thank you guys and gals for giving me the courage to tell her. And now in the comments, it's an amazing feeling coming clean to someone you've been in love with for years. It took me 5 years to tell my now wife. Congrats, man. Take everything as it comes. Nothing is wrong or right from here. And one tip, communicate always. And if you're unsure of anything, ask. Agreed. I came clean to my best friend 6 years ago, after 4 years in love, and we've been together ever since. We were engaged and getting married in September 2019. It was such a relief to finally tell him and have the emotions reciprocated. We still talk about our journey and laugh about it, and reflect on how fortunate we are to have each other with such a solid foundation. In the end, I was more terrified of being a missed opportunity and not knowing what could have been, more than I was afraid of anything else. I'm so glad there are others out there with us. Apparently there's another update on r/wedding planning, saying wedding in Seattle/Tacoma area. We already eloped, but are looking to have a reception where she grew up. We are looking at 30 to 50 guests max. It'll be next spring, around early to mid-March. We are going to be in the area this August, and would love to have a few places to check out. Anyone that could give us a few suggestions or places that they used would be much appreciated. And there is another comment that says, missed the more detailed update 2 years ago. Well, she lost her job and started having medical issues. Meanwhile, we as usual spent all our free time together, and she just ended up moving in my place. I broached the subject of us getting married so she could get my health benefits, as she has at least 2 surgeries coming up. So we drove to Vegas and got married. We plan on doing things right next year and having a proper ceremony. The whole kids thing is off the table for a while until she gets better and things settle down. We're in Southern Cali currently, so she can have the first of her surgeries Thursday. So that is the most current update. Aww, 20 plus years ago, this situation, barring sperm donation, was me and my now husband. We had been friends since grade 6 and had crushes on each other the whole time, but it took meeting my college best friend and her banging our heads together to figure it out. I thought he was too cool and he thought that I was too glamorous, but it turns out we are both clueless nerds. Either way, we now have a home, a kid, a dog, and 15 years of marriage together. And also a cancer diagnosis and unrelated infertility journey, but who's counting? Our next post is titled, I don't enjoy being a father, to a toddler 1 to 3 years old. So I'm writing this because I just don't know what to do anymore. My daughter is such hard work, I feel like locking myself in the toilet and crying. She has made me cry a couple times in her short spell on Earth. She was unplanned. My girlfriend was 30 to my 27 at the time of conception. My girlfriend is from an Irish Catholic family, so abortion was never even considered. My girlfriend had a horrendous pregnancy and was so sick every day. She couldn't even drink water without throwing up. It was bad. The day she was born, I cried as she was given to me, but as I got home I felt a sense of dread. I never had much confidence in myself, and I didn't have a clue what to do. She had colic almost straight away, and would cry non-stop for hours. We got her into a little routine, and then COVID hit. For 7 months, it was just me and my girlfriend. No one else held her. And as I worked upstairs, she seemed to only want her mother. That's now still the case. She has the worst separation anxiety from her mother. She cries if she's not 2 feet away. We put her into nursery twice a week and she loves it once she's there, but every day is a battle. With me, she likes to include me sometimes, but the majority of the time I walk into a room and she says, "No, Dada, go." Or when it's bedtime, it's only her mother who can put her to bed. It's like she hates me sometimes. My poor girlfriend is so drained and tries to include me, but the baby cries until she's sick. I feel lost and lonely and confused. I never thought having a child would be easy, but to be this difficult? My favorite part of the day is when it's time to go to bed so I can lie in the darkness and fantasize about something else. Then my daughter will have a nightmare, which is 3 to 4 times a week, and we have to spend the next hour trying to console her. She's a lot better with people now. A little shy, but comes around. She shows no signs of autism, but some behavioral issues that is normal for her age. I do love her, by the way. I really, really do. But I just feel so down and sad about it. I'm wishing my life away, and I don't know how to make it better. And now in the comments, "You're letting her run the show, my man. I'm a stay-at-home mother, and when I need a break after my husband got home, it's all about buckling down and spending time together bonding over something she loves. With that opening, other things will follow. It took my husband forever to find that niche with our daughter because little girls seem to hold grudges against daddy because they see less of dad when dad is at work full time. It's hard. Being a parent is hard. Thing is, she's going to cry. My daughter threw down when Hubs tried taking her to the park, fishing, feeding the ducks. I mean, you name it, he was trying it, and one day, bang! It was like a switch flipped, and she was ready to go frog hunting with daddy and telling me to leave. It truly is repetition and effort. Kids feel it when we aren't happy, not interested, and also I'm not saying that you aren't, I'm just saying that they are intuitive and they are smarter than we give them credit for, or if we are closed off. Trying to give her something sweet like y'all stopping in at an ice cream shop or some froyo and take her to the park. How old is your daughter now? And OP replies, "What age was she when she turned?" I'm trying, I really, really am. Let's go to the park. Let's go on a bus. Let's go explore the woods. Let's take the dog for a walk. Let's draw a picture. Do you want to have an airplane ride? Do you want to jump on the bed? Etc, etc, etc. All the responses are met with mama. Sometimes she lets me, other times she tries to fight me, and she's too young to understand fully what's going on. She just turned 2 years old. Also, mama should start saying no, like, "Mama, can you do this?" "No, I'm busy. Dada is free though." A lot of kids start liking dada more when mama starts saying no. And OP replies, "She does try as well. Bless her. She is an incredible mother. Our relationship is suffering from this as well." Do you do as much as you can to support her? Like clean the dishes and house, cook, back massages? Do you allow her at least 1 hour of time a day when you take your child out of the house, screaming or not, while she showers just to give her a mental break? Do you do laundry and make the bed? Now, I'm sure you are doing as much as you can to help out other than the baby, as you sound like a supportive boyfriend. But do try to alleviate the things she has to do when she's not with the child, and I'm sure your relationship will be better. And OP replies, "Yes, I do all those things. We live with my parents at the moment though, so it's tough to have a bit of alone time. My husband had to drag my kid kicking and screaming to bath time today. I had to do something, and I was trying my hardest not to respond at all. If I did, I would validate my kid's complaints and invalidate dad's attempts in helping me. I've gotten the advice to stand with dad and say, dad can do bath too, or something, but kid will scream harder about once instead. So we've tried just gritting teeth through it. 5 minutes in, kid's happy as a clam playing with dad. I got 20 minutes to myself. The caveat, I think my kid's actually pretty easy despite being very attached to me. Some kids might make you feel like giving in is easier than standing your ground. My point? Mum trying to include you doesn't work if she's around or available, or responds if kid complains. Kid knows that there is that option, mum. Also, if you give in, she knows she can insist on mum. Sometimes you're just going to have to do alone time without mum, even if it's miserable. Keep your calm, consistent demeanor and do it. For us, it helped that dad did different things, fun things, surprising things. So even though kid wants mum, once kid accepts dad's only option, kid knows it'll be fun. Dad is always novel. It'll take time, the tantrum still happens every time, but once kid is settled, they bond and have a good time. Hang in there. And now onto the update. About 6 to 7 weeks ago, I wrote a post saying I don't enjoy being a father. I wrote it when I was upset and didn't know what I was doing. I felt lost, suicidal, and I was really at the end of my tether. Your comments and kindness and advice were greatly appreciated, and I took the time to read every single one. Afterwards, I said to myself, only I can change this. I looked long and hard in the mirror. What could I do to improve my relationship with my daughter? It's up to me to change. So I decided no matter what my daughter did, I wouldn't get angry. I would listen more, and even though she isn't communicating fully, I tried to understand her better. The first week or two were pretty much the same, hitting and screaming the house down, but I got on her level. I spoke softly to her. I didn't ask if she wanted to go and see the moon, I made her come with me. If she cried, I made sure I cuddled her and spoke softly and told her about the man in the moon, the stars in the sky. I did this every night. 4 weeks ago, everything, and I mean everything, changed. I was going to the shops and she said, "Dada, shop." I was shocked. I asked if she wanted to come with me and she said yes. Her mother, whom she wouldn't ever leave her side, was shocked as well. We went shopping together and had fun. The week after we went to the zoo, just the two of us, and a week after to the play center. I firmly believe I am no longer Daddy, a man who just lives in her house. I am now Daddy, her best friend. Her words, not mine. Protector and tickle machine. Her demeanor has changed so much that now when I start work in the morning, as I work from home, she has been getting on my knee and crying and saying, "Daddy, no work, Daddy, play." She started in the big room in nursery, and my girlfriend said she was hysterical her first day, but it was me that she was asking for. I cannot believe the difference in her behavior with me, and it makes me so happy. I've gone from dreading seeing her because I don't know what her mood is, to being genuinely excited to see her so we can play and learn together. It's taken me a while, but now I am the dad that I am going to be to her, and she is going to love me for it. At least until she becomes a teenager anyway. So to all of you, your kind words and advice, I thank you. Have a great Christmas and keep your families safe. I remember your post so well, and my heart broke for you. I'm so proud of you and so happy to hear this outcome. Your relationship with her is changing for the better every day. And OP replies, "Thank you. I had to change, not her. I won't ever let her down again." One thing to keep in mind is that you won't be perfect. You may let her down again, but that's okay. As long as you learn and keep trying, that's what is most important. Give yourself grace to occasionally fail and you'll be alright. And OP says to that, "I was so hard on myself like I have been my entire life. I have no confidence in myself, and as soon as something gets tough, I usually quit. I hate that trait about myself. So when she pushed me away, I thought, I don't blame her, etc. But it's time to stop the self-pity and give her the best dad possible. I'm not as nervous or anxious that she's going to kick off, and I believe she can sense a more relaxed daddy, which in turn relaxes her. I'm preparing myself for bad times as well as good. That's life. But good or bad, I am going nowhere. You can do this, bro. Remember that when she's difficult, she's not giving you a hard time, she's having a hard time. Looking at it that way helps me feel less like a failure when something goes wrong and more like a teammate. Gives me extra points in patience and composure. This was beautiful. Big well done for the change and hope you're feeling better, mental health-wise. OP says thank you. The fact that you put so much effort into making these changes shouts that you are going to be, and already are, a wonderful dad. Not everyone would put in even half of your effort, especially when feeling suicidal. Sincerely, thank you for doing that for your little girl. I hope your mental health keeps improving. Take care and happy holidays to you and yours. OP says, as long as she's happy and calling me daddy, I'll be happy. My issue was that she didn't seem happy in my company. Now I'm her protector, someone she knows will help her. The fact she was crying for me and not my girlfriend at nursery speaks volumes. That would have never happened 3 months ago. This one started off so heartbreaking. The resolution reminds me of Frankl's man's search for meaning, and how when everything feels like it's been stripped away, we still get to choose how we react to a given situation. A hard lesson to learn, but a valuable one. And this post is another reminder that Reddit can sometimes help bring people out of their fog, not just the fear, obligation, guilt that comes with narcissistic family territory, but also help them see their situation more clearly and how they may be able to bring about the change from the inside. So glad the update turned out the way it did. I feared the worst. That first part is actually my worst fear, that I would hate my hypothetical child. So glad to see that OP was able to turn this around so well. Me too. Children are so difficult and there is no real breaks, it's just 24/7. It's incredible OP was able to turn this around without professional help. This was a beautiful ending. That said, we really need better support in place for first-time parents because it is super common for toddlers to play favorites with their parents, and it's a lot easier to cope with that and parent lovingly anyway if you know it's typical and the allegiance will probably change at some point. Anyway guys, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.